So the first generation computer, we can have what are the features of first generation computers. The first generation computers are that is which come under 1950 to 1957. Computers came in this period, and the basic element of this first generation computers are thermionic tubes or vacuum tubes. Okay, and that is the basic element used within that is first generation computers, and it is also has the stored programs developed by John von Neumann. We have already discussed it, that is it is known as von Neumann architecture. Okay, and within this, assembly language is used to make programs, and later it is translated to machine language in order to read within that machine. Okay, and within this first generation computers, arithmetic operations performed in milliseconds, that is the speed of this computer, and the input output devices are like typewriters, that is you can give instruction to the computer using a typewriter like device, and you will get result from the computer with a device like typewriter. Okay, and it has a magnetic core memory and magnetic tape storage. So what is mean by magnetic core memory? That is it is actually it is used in the first generation computers, and it has a kind of rings of hard magnetic material in it, and that structure is used to store data, that it has that kind of memory, and this core memory used with the rings of hard magnetic material, it's actually a semi-hard kind of material, and it is used as transformers within this that is within that panel, and each wire threaded through the core serves as a transformer winding. So that kind of winding kind of wiring will help to produce a kind of magnetic field, and it acts as a magnetic memory. Okay, so it's actually a kind of innovation happened during that time. Before this first generation computers, there is no memory within any kind of calculation machine developed in the earlier days. Okay, and next is magnetic tape storage, and it is a system which is for storing digital information on magnetic tape using digital recording. It's like we use this kind of cassette reel to write the video audio within VCR kind of cassettes. Okay, so like that, it is a magnetic tape which is that is developed, or it is made out of magnetic material, and in that the entire data will store using a kind of magnetic field. Okay, so the data will store within the magnetic tape, and tape means it's in the structure of tape which is made out of magnetic material. Okay, and initially large open reels were the most common format, because it is not rewritable. Once it is decoded, that is encoded with the data, we can't use that data for the for further purpose. So a bulky kind of tape is being used within the first models of computer, first generation computer. That is why it is very gigantic in nature. It consumes a lot of space when it comes to first generation computers, because a lot of vacuum tubes and other gears and other things, and input output devices, so it actually consumes a side of a room. That is and it used a kind of magnetic core memory and magnetic tape storage. And the different models came under the first generation computers are ENIAC, EDVAC, EDSAC, Mark I and UNIVAC. And we have got different advantages and disadvantages with respect to first generation computers. It has a few limited number of advantages, but disadvantages are more because it's only a crude version of computer. Okay, when it comes to advantages, vacuum tubes are the main advantage. That is, it is actually a sophisticated technology used within computer, and it's actually a electronic digital kind of innovation, not only electronic innovation, but it's actually digital kind of improvement happened in the technology. And when it compares to the former devices, calculating devices, the first generation computers are fast in their speed. Okay, when it comes to disadvantages, there are a lot of disadvantages with respect to first generation computers, like it is too bulky in size, it consumes a lot of space, and it is unreliable because it is only a crude version of computer. If any part of the computer got damaged, then it will affect the result as such. It won't produce a correct result. Okay, and thousands of vacuum tubes that were used emitted large amount of heat and burn out frequently, so it constantly makes the computer damaged. Slow operating speed and restricted computer capacity. It is fast when it compares to the former one, but it is not at all as fast as we expected it to be. Okay, high power consumption and short lifespan. Being a bulky in size, it consumes a lot of energy and it produces a lot of heat, and it got more damaged. Okay, then air condition is required because it consumed a lot of energy and produced a lot of heat. Lot of fanning or lot of air conditioning is required. Prone of frequent hardware failure because it has a lot of large components. It tend to fail frequently. Constant maintenance required. That it is because of its size, and it is not at all portable, not movable or handy in size. Manual integration of individual components into functioning unit required. That means the entire, each and every part has to be manually repaired, and that is constituted into form a kind of this kind of machine. It is not easy for anyone to maintain or anyone to that is assemble this kind of computer, so it is not at all commercially produced. It only come as a project of government or a company or military, etc. It is not at all for common usage, but it's for this kind of large scale kind of purposes, like military or government purposes or company purposes, etc. Okay, commercial production was very difficult because it is not at all practical to produce this much bulky size of computer, and no one, a common man will not be able to afford the price of the computer. Okay, limited programming capabilities and limited commercial use. It has a limited version of programming capacity. It is obvious because it is not at all a sophisticated device.